What's up guys, Yannick Reid here and welcome back to another video. On this channel we like to talk about tech, lifestyle and creativity, focusing on photography and videography. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button for more videos just like these. For today's video, I want to tell y'all a story time. And I don't really want to rush through this one because I think it's an important story to tell. I want to share with you the story of how I was very close to being kicked out of college. So I attended the Edna Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts in Kingston, Jamaica. I went to first year after doing 1 year of sixth form at Wolmer's. After finishing Arden at fifth form and really feeling myself and saying I don't want to do any sixth form, not applying for any sixth form because I'm going straight to college, screw y'all. Went to apply for Edna and realized I was too young and I had to do 1 more year of high school, so Arden wouldn't let me back in. The only school I could get into at the time was Wolmer's. So fast forward now, I'm at my first year of Edna Manley finally after waiting. Go to school and Edna Manley is a brand new experience for me coming from high school, You go to your classes, nobody tells you what to do, nobody tells you what to do your homework. You reach school when you reach school, you go to class when you go to class, you leave whenever you leave. This new amount of freedom was very new to me. It was a very new experience and I got very drunk in the honey. I spent a lot of time coming to school, hanging out with new people that I met, spending a lot of time underneath the tree, not going to class, not doing the homework. Long story short, I really just wasted the time. People said they would go to class, I just didn't want to go. I didn't know what was compelling me to not go. I would go and I would not be focused and I'd have the work to do. A lot of times I just brought in half-baked work and half-finished work, and there's nobody who was gonna cuss you. If you just didn't have the work, they're just like, alright. This was all just new to me. I just thought everything was gonna be jiggy. I only went to the classes that I was personally interested in going to. I was just like, oh, I came here to do graphics and I don't want to do any of those other stuff. All those other stuff is just wasting my time. I'm just gonna go to the classes I like. So to be fair, all the classes that I like, I went to them and I did them and I passed them, So the classes I liked, I passed. But there are foundation courses that you're supposed to get a certain amount of grading and you have a certain amount of credit to be eligible to go on to the next year or to finish the school year. I didn't meet those requirements. At the end of the school year, they were saying that, I flunked out the year and that it was up for debate if I could come back. It was really close to saying that, yeah, I don't think he's gonna come back. That little gap period of time that short period of time where I wasn't sure if I could come back was extremely embarrassing. Honestly, it was one of the first times that I saw my parents seem embarrassed by me. I was really ashamed of myself. I was really ashamed of the fact that, my parents believed in me and didn't give me any resistance to go to art school when there are lots of kids who would love to go to art school and their parents don't believe in, art as a career. And I went there and I really wasted the first year and idled everything out and just spent it wasting time. They were really upset, One thing I would remember is that I was walking with my father in the supermarket and my father saw a friend and he said, hey, so what's going on with your son? What's next for him and thing? And, my father, like a wave of kind of shame kind of washed over his face. And that was one of the things that I will never forget in my life, just the hurt that my parents have felt, because I have never done something like that in my life up to that point. So it was a very new thing for them to be feeling ashamed of me. With some deliberation with the school, it turns out that I was eligible to do over the school year and not leave. That was a big relief to know that I could have returned back to the school and do over the year. I just had to do over the courses that I failed. Even just doing over that year was extremely embarrassing as well. You know, I was really happy that I got a second chance, like more than anything. But, you know, most people who was in my original year, they continued on to the second year, and I was back in first year. It was very embarrassing, you know, to see all of your friends them in second year and you're still in first year, and you know, it's just kind of like a big mark of shame that, the truth is, you feel dunce, you feel stupid, and you feel fool. And, I had to kind of live with that. Another thing is that, I really tried to make the effort to connect or maintain the connection that I had with my original year group. But it did get apparent that there was a gap. Things that I could miss out because we were just on a different schedule. And I think at the same time there was just so much proximity that the interest in the friendship kind of wore down. And that was also a hard lesson to sit and kind of learn. The good thing is that after kind of coming to that realization, I decided to embrace the year that I was in, that I'm doing this over and I can't undo it, and made friends with the people who were in my new year group. I made some really good friends in that year group, people who I still am in touch with today, and have a really good and strong bond. And it was a great year group to be a part of. When I went over and I did that first year, I really came back, and even though I was ashamed, I took my work seriously after that. Like, nobody had to tell me to go to class. Like, it was really just a wake-up call for school and in life, that there is nobody to blame for the decisions that you make in life. There's a point that you get to where there's nobody steering you or holding your hand or telling you what to do. It's really up to you. And I came to that realization, and I realized that I'm not gonna make my parents feel embarrassed anymore. And it was my decision to come to Edna Manley. I wasn't forced to go to Edna Manley. And even though I didn't love just how Edna Manley did their thing, it was my decision to come here. And my parents spent their money on the first year. I wasted it, and they spent their money for me to come back. And I say, you know what? I made up my mind to never let them have to go through any more shame or embarrassment, because they were spending money on something that was my choice. Coming back, I can proudly say that, I did really tear through the next 4 years of school, and it turned out great, because I feel like it was very important for that to happen to me. I'm very sorry to my parents that it was such an expensive lesson for me to learn on their tab. But I don't know, maybe if they watch this, they can say that I really did learn the lesson, and that lesson has stuck with me for life, about just being responsible about oneself. A lot of people who are younger than me are entering into similar situations that I'm entering into. I see myself in them, where they try to blame other people for things, or make excuses for a lot of things, that at the end of the day they need to realize that, this is your decision, and nobody's really forcing you to be here, and you really need to take accountability for the things that you do. And that really changed, that lesson that I learned, it really altered me for life. Like, I knew I got a real taste of failure, like a real taste of, yo, you're gonna get kicked out of school or whatever, and you know, friends see you, and you know, friends kind of look at you different. And I just made up my mind that, you know, you got a second chance, I'm not going to waste it. And it was just a totally different attitude that I feel like even just that lesson or just that feeling of failure, it feels so present within me now to this day, in terms of just how averse I am to leaving things for the last moment or just squandering my time. Is just flashbacks to that moment. It really just cemented in my mind how much of your life is really your responsibility. You know, I went and how much of your choices, a lot of the choices that you make to better your life will not always be fun. When I flunked out my year of skull classes to go to parties and to go up to UE and idle around with friends up there and chill out and all of these shenanigans. And then when I came back, I was the one who was going to class first. I was getting all the notes. I was talking to teachers. I was staying to class late. I was talking to teachers. If I got a grade and I never like it, I went to the teacher and I was like, yo, why did I get this grade? Explain it to me. I don't understand. What can I do to improve this grade? Are there any other opportunities that I can to bring up my grade? I was following every single lead I could follow to make sure that my grades or just my situation was up. And I could have even see like some of my peers around me, they, not to say I was better than them, but they didn't necessarily have that drive. But it's totally understandable because I was being motivated by a very real close encounter with failure, and I was being driven by never going back to that place again. So I was putting out like double, you know, not that I was at the top of my class. I mean, I think when I graduated final year, I'd classify myself amongst the top of the class, amongst my peers, not number one, but you know, I'd say like top 10. And you know, this is because I was chasing every single lead to get anything that I could. Is there anything I can do to get extra points, extra grade? And it evolved beyond the point of avoiding failure and actually starting to enjoy success. I saw where the effort that I was putting in was actually bringing in rewards of success, and my parents starting to feel good, and teachers, when they saw my parents, they'd be like, yo son, I'm going good, and how proud they felt. And it started to motivate me, and you know, just the feel of success started to become habitual. I tell this story because, you know, a lot of people may look at the situation that I am in now, you know, that I work with somebody who would be considered a celebrity. You know, I have a lot of followers on Instagram, and I move through many social groups where I am well liked. And you know, people may not know my story previously. I share this story to let people know that, you know, failure can happen and you can still make things turn around for yourself. Failure and success, they're not destinations. They're just things that happen along your journey, and you can turn them around as late or whatever. Like, I can tell you, I did not graduate from high school. I have a school leaving certificate because they lost a CXC art thing for me, and you know, I just didn't want to talk to anybody about it. Like, I was in the right and I could have fixed it, but I just didn't want to talk to anybody about it because I was just so averse to confrontation. So I have a school leaving ticket, you get me? Like, when my friends graduated, I was just sitting in the audience watching them, and even then I didn't get a wake-up call, you get me? So in a lot of a lot of eyes to some people. I could definitely be considered a bum. I don't consider myself a bum because success looks different from me, but I definitely do realize that whatever you want out of life is that you are responsible for it, you know? Like, your parents are supposed to set you up and give you the launch pad to hopefully achieve the dreams that you want to do, but at the end of the day, they have lived their life and they have done what they have needed to do to live their life, and this is your life, and nobody can jump into your body to live your life for you. You have to live it. So at the end of the day, you have to be able to make decisions and be able to live with them. And some of these decisions will involve working when other people are partying, or doing all-nighters, or a lot of these decisions may involve being uncomfortable, but that's all temporary. And I can tell you that sometimes the temporary discomforts, the rewards that come from them they're very sweet. And I just wanted to share this story because maybe there's somebody out there who needs to know that a failure doesn't make you a failure. I hope that wasn't too heavy for you. I hope this proved valuable to somebody. If there is somebody in your life that you feel may benefit from a message like this, please share this video with them. And please do continue to enjoy your day, week, month, or year. And you don't know, just go on, bless up yourself.